Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. With the doors of Mythic Sanctum of Domination opening, it can mean only one thing. The race for World First is back on, and this one promises to be a cracker. So let's get into this. So first up, let's get this out of the way. Any of you that have watched the channel for any amount of time know I am not by any stretch of the imagination a Mythic Raider. Everything here is from a fan's point of view, just somebody that enjoys watching the race to World First. Secondly, I honestly don't mind who wins this one. So long as it's a really good, interesting, well thought battle, then fair play to all that took part. So with that out of the way, this really does promise to be a fantastic race. All of the elements are there. We've got a really, really good solid raid, and the big teams are hungry for victory. We've got obviously the reigning kings, the champions, Limit, going for 3 times. Not only that, 3 times back to back. Yes, they are after their 3rd trophy. They have obviously got Castle Nathria and Nylofa from the previous expansion. So yeah, they are hungry to truly prove themselves without a shadow of a doubt to be the kings of Warcraft raiding. But don't forget, we also have Echo trying desperately to not repeat themselves. But they really do. They really go, such a bad joke. But they really do need the W. To show that it wasn't just the resources that Meta commanded, the access to millions upon millions of gold and the network of contacts all over the EU that was getting the wins, or at least going a long way towards it. But instead, it was those players that now form the Echo Guild. Now personally, I think Echo have the same, if not more resources by now than Method had at their disposal. I just think it takes time to get over what happened and them leaving the Method organization to become, as I say, Echo. And then, of course, you just start to settle in as a guild and Limit just throw this curveball meta in there of having the coach on the sidelines. And of course, Echo have had to follow suit. And let's be honest, the fact that Echo haven't won a World First is more down to Limit's total domination. Like, to the point we've seen tweets going out when Echo have lost the raid, just saying, we were awful. Just congratulations to Limit, you guys dominated this. Limit simply are the best guild right now. It's that simple. And we shouldn't talk about any other guild and take away from just how good Limit are at the moment. But the longer Echo stay without a win, the greater that doubt is going to grow. Not only with the fans, but also with the players themselves. Now don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, I'm not having got any of the Echo players. They have an incredible roster of talent at their disposal. But when you are in the race of World First, everybody has an amazing roster of talent. It takes that little something extra, that little bit more to get that World First win. And then, of course, we have pieces looking in on that number 1 and number 2 World First club. And they want a piece of that action. Oh, Jesus. What? Yeah, that was not even an intentional bad dad joke. I'm sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus. Once you start down the dark path of bad dad jokes, that's it. That's it. It'll corrupt your soul. But right now, it's considered a 2-horse race. It's all Echo, Limit, and that's it. So much so that those 2 guilds have done a joint merch venture. Now granted, 100% this is for a good cause, and I will put a link down below. Go check it out, it's for rad. If you fancy getting yourselves one of the sweet t-shirts, sweet hoodies, myself and Cuddles are going to get one. And it, as I say, again, it's for an amazing cause, go check it out. But if you manage to get into this top club, it brings with you that sponsorship, that viewership, which sadly, we've moved on from this community-focused event. You need that money, you need that viewership, you need all of that to progress any further. Love it or hate it, as I say, the World First is no longer something that any guild can compete in. You know, just, oh, me and the lads, we're going to stay up all night and we're going to get some gear and then we're going to set foot as soon as possible into the raid and, oh, it's going to be so exciting. We can try and get, like, in the top 20 or something. It takes vast amounts of gold, a network of contacts across your realms for BOEs, a huge amount of time, meaning that realistically, if you really want to push up there with the very top buys, then meaning you've got to have a big team contract, so you can be literally paid to play, or you need to make a living from live streaming that generates enough money so that you can be live all the time and playing all the time. It's really hard for those guilds that don't raid non-stop 18 hours a day to try and break into that top 5. And that's not to say it cannot be done. Pieces used to be that guild, but now of course have gone full-time. Which is kind of sad, because as soon as they moved to full-time, a lot of people were really disappointed with Castle Nathria, which is kind of a little unfair. What were you expecting them to do? Were they instantly going to take first or second? That is not an easy thing to do. But fear not, there is one guild above all others that keeps that dream, air quotations, of the part-time casual guild, which they're definitely not alive, and that is Fat Shark Yes, or as I like to call them, the gatekeepers of Race to World First. If you can't get past them, then you are not in with a hope of getting World First. Fat Shark Yes are a part-time raiding guild. Yes, they do raid a lot, 7 days a week, but it's still within limited hours. And then, rising from the east, we have the new heroic World First guild, Aster. Yes, not a clue who that is? Well, you remember those Asian teams, Alpha, JTH, and Skyline? Well, take the very best of those 3 rosters, sprinkle in a couple more players who are of equal talent, then add in a management team from Team Aster who compete in Dota 2. And you have one hell of a new team that are already talking about going after the world first. They are not pulling any punches. They have the talent, no doubt, but it will be interesting to see if they even come close to those established Western teams. I will say, if players and fans want the Race to World First to become a real esport, because right now it floats between the two. It doesn't matter how many numbers it pulls in on Twitch, how big it is, it's still just a community event with a lot of money. It's not one and it's not the other, and that's not a good thing if you want it to grow. When players are receiving contracts and sponsorship, when teams are having organizations like Complexity, like Aster coming along saying, hey, we want to sign you, we want to be part of your team, then we've most definitely transcended away from it being community, but yet with no organization or structure that governs what is a win and what isn't, then we're not at a real esport yet either. Now, how do we know what's considered cheating and what isn't? What's the rule on time versus kill? Is it whoever gets the first kill? Is it whoever gets the fastest from when reset happens? If the Asian market can wake up, then WoW can be a real esport. If we could shake that, and we get Aster coming out of nowhere and getting a third, let's say, and all of a sudden that opens the door for a whole new era, and one that Blizzard really can't ignore. If they want to tap that Asian market, there is no better opportunity. Many will hate the idea, don't get me wrong, of Blizzard getting involved in this, or any other organization. I mean, we had Red Bull back when they teamed up with Method and then subsequently got burnt by said team. And people fear that that will make the race corporate and it's going to put people off. But it could also be the best thing to happen, not only for WoW esports, but for WoW itself. It gives the Blizzard, it gives them a chance to attract new fans, because all of a sudden you've got this big esports influx. It brings in the money that comes with that, and hopefully it gives them some fresh ideas, a fresh impetus to actually make some new and interesting things in WoW, to dare to push the envelope. God forbid, but maybe even to take a chance and go for, hey, let's do it. Let's make World of Warcraft 2. Hey, look, a guy can dream, can't they? Anyway, that's enough for me, everybody. I am off to enjoy the race. Let me know in the comments who you hope's going to win, whether you just want to see it go back to its community roots, whether you're happy where it is, whether you want to see it go full Dota 2 TI style, whatever. Race the world first in the chat. Let's go. Thank you for watching, everybody. Stay safe, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Laters, everyone.